Sikhidhvaja has the understanding that spiritual realization is about renunciation. It's about giving up everything. The brahmana is attempting to direct Sikhidhvaja's mind to self-enquiry. The brahmana is an emanation of Sikhidhvaja's wife, Judala, and she's now referred to here as Kumbha. This emanation is a grandson of the creator god Brahma. So Sikhidhvaja has been told he's not renounced everything, so he's even given up all the accessories of his renunciation. He was about to kill himself, give up his body as well. But the brahmana stepped in and told him he's got to give up that by which everything arises, which is consciousness in the form of the cognitive process. He needs to stop identifying with this process. And he's trying to understand this. He's really trying to understand this. So let's see how he gets on. Sikhidhvaja said, "Pray tell me the exact nature of this citta, mind, and also how to abandon it so that it does not arise again and again." Kumbha, the brahmana, Judala, replied, "Vasana, memory, subtle impressions of the past, conditioning, is the nature of this citta. In fact, they are synonyms." Vasana is like a battery. It's like a battery which gets charged up with memories. And they're not just memories, of course. Memories have their own emotional weight. These are the subtle impressions of the past. And there's conditioning which arises from our environment, our education, also even from our genetic conditioning. So this is vasana. This is the nature of the mind. Its abandonment or renunciation is easily accomplished, more delightful than even the sovereignty over a kingdom, and more beautiful than a flower. So it's easy. How can it be easy? Is this not what we are? Are we not our vasanas? Are we not our conditioning, our memories, our desires, all the rest of it? We are what the attention is focused on. The attention can be focused on anything, including our notions, our beliefs. But the attention itself can be directed to anything. This is how hypnosis works. The person who's being hypnotized is presented with a notion, and their attention is directed to that notion. And that notion becomes what is true. We're in a state of hypnosis all the time. All we have to do is realize the nature of the attention. This is our consciousness. This is what creates our reality. What can be easier than that? The attention is shifting around all the time. We can shift it to whatever we like. We can hypnotize ourselves if we want. We can change our psychic structure. We can see how hypnosis works. It can make us experience pain, pleasure in different ways. It can change around our sense perceptions. So it should be easy. All we have to do then is direct the attention to itself. It's not about feeding it with another notion. It's about realizing the nature of the attention itself, realizing the nature of the attention, and then appreciating the implications of that. This is realization. It is certainly very difficult for a foolish person to renounce the mind, even as it is difficult for a simpleton to rule the kingdom. And a foolish person here has nothing to do with intelligence. The foolish person is the person of conviction, who thinks they know how things are, who thinks they've got understanding, who identifies strongly with their own notions, their own understanding, and thinks that any other possibility is complete foolishness. There'll be many who think this teaching is just ridiculous. These are the foolish ones. The utter destruction or extinction of the mind is the extinction of samsara, the creation cycle. And we have to be careful about this idea of extinction of the mind. It's not about lobotomizing ourselves. We have all these associations which we want to run with, which are quite negative. The extinction of the mind is the extinction of identification with the mind. It is also known as the abandonment of the mind. So extinction and abandonment are two different things. So if they're the same thing, we have to understand it in the sense of abandonment. Therefore, uproot this tree whose seed is the I idea, with all its branches, fruits and leaves, and rest in the space in the heart. I often say that this heart is figurative, it's really resting in the essence. And that's true, that's the case. It's a way of describing how it feels when the attention is resting in itself. Uproot this tree whose seed is the I idea. We didn't have this I idea when we were born. It's something which we develop as we get older. It's part of our natural development, and it's necessary in order to maintain the body, to exist in this world. It's necessary to have this sense of identity. It's also necessary to have this sense of identity for self-realization. If we aren't born, if we don't develop in the way that we do, then self-realization is not possible. So it's part of an ongoing process. We come into the world, we grow up, we develop this sense of I, but that development has to continue, and the development now is to abandon the sense of I and to realize our nature as infinite consciousness. The whole notion of I creates the fundamental division between self and the world. And it's a division which does not exist in reality in the light of absolute consciousness.